So, reason number one is you can't say you're rational and you're an atheist because there's no intelligence that created you in your argument.
You guys are in for a treat today because this guy, his name is Shock of God. He's going to tell you, that is, if you're an atheist, why you're stupid, irrational, and crazy. He has going to give us 3 reasons why, so I can't wait to find out what's wrong with me. I hope he can help me out. His name, Shock of God, it reminds me of Prophet of Zod. Tell me down in the comments if you guys remember Prophet of Zod. I really liked him. I wish he'd come back, but I just wonder if he took his name from that. This Shock of God has 54,000 subscribers on YouTube. What do I have, about 2,000? Not even 3,000? That's kind of sad. It makes me sad, especially when you listen to this guy. You're going to go, wow, I need to subscribe to Doubter's Diary. All right, let's find out his very first reason why we're stupid, irrational, and crazy.
So, reason number one is you can't say you're rational and you're an atheist because there's no intelligence that created you in your argument. You're saying that things changed over time with evolution, but evolution does not create rational minds. Evolution's all about change within limits.
Atheism does not equal a belief or even a knowledge of evolution. Just like being a theist doesn't automatically mean you reject evolution. In fact, outside of fundamentalist Christians and Muslims and Judaism, most Christians in the mainstream accept evolution, and the Catholic Church has accepted evolution, and they think it doesn't conflict with the Bible. I think that it does. I just think they're moving the goalpost, but they accept evolution. So those two, that doesn't match. It doesn't matter whether you're a theist or an atheist. That has nothing to do with the belief in evolution. Also, evolution, the theory of evolution, never states that evolution is trying to create something rational. We don't know that we live in a rational world. We would have to have another world to compare it to that was irrational, and we can't do that. And not only that, there's so many irrational things about the world, right? Mosquitoes, diseases, they're irrational. That some of the evil that goes on, that isn't rational. That's not rational in any way, shape, or form. And also evolution, he's accepting evolution within limits. He's misinformed or he's lying.
So evolution doesn't point to a rational mind. A Christian can have a good argument to have a rational mind since an intelligent being, because an intelligent being created them, intelligence creates intelligence. But an atheist can't claim that they have a rational mind because they cannot ground it through evolution. They can't even say they're a product of intelligent design like you and I can.
Is he really saying that he's grounded in intelligence? I have my doubts.
So this is a big problem for atheists, why it isn't really rational to be atheist. If you want to say you're atheist, fine, but don't say you're rational because you cannot ground rational thinking since you're just a product of a Big Bang explosion and a product of evolution. I think it's over here on the left. We're going to go over here. You're a product of evolution, which is just, unguided. This is what you say if you're an atheist. Unguided processes. And unguided processes, they're not rational. These unguided processes are not Rational. What the heck type of motorcycle is that?
So he's claiming that unguided processes are irrational. He's doing the old presuppositional apologetics, which really always boils down to trust me, bro. This is the way that it is. I mean, I'm just so tired of this kind of ridiculous assumptions about things that he doesn't know anything about.
So the Christian is better off in debate because if we're talking about what is more rational, the atheist sure as hell cannot say atheism. How do they ground their rational thinking? Since they believe they just have an evolved monkey brain.
Once again, Christians, this theory of evolution does not state that we came from monkeys or that we have monkey brains. I get so tired of that lie. Learn the first thing about evolution before you start talking about it. And yes, his whole shtick is riding around on a motorcycle, doing his little podcast.
Now I know the atheists are going to go ape over what I just said, but it's all true. Alvin Plantinga has a highly detailed argument. I just gave you the basics of the Plantinga argument.
No, you didn't. That's not at all what he is saying. You don't even understand the basics of what your own apologetic is saying. He is not saying that atheists can't have a rational mind. Rather, his argument is that it is rational to believe in a deity even if you don't have evidence. That's what he's using philosophy to try and argue. I don't agree with that at all. I don't like philosophy arguments for any kind of religion, but you don't even understand the basics of this person you're quoting is even saying. You twit.
So, what's another argument of why you really can't be an atheist? No one that's rational should ever be an atheist. Atheists claim God doesn't exist, yet we know about 1% of what is in the universe that we've seen. So how can the atheists claim that they have knowledge of what is, if God exists, and what is in the universe? Even think of beyond the universe.
We don't claim any of that. That we're not claiming that we know everything about the universe. Atheism is a very simple statement. It's saying we don't see enough evidence to believe in a deity. That's all. That's all there is to it. There is no claim about knowing about the universe. Nothing like that. And yes, his whole little thing is driving around on his motorcycle looking for protestors for some odd reason. This guy's a really weird one. He's stupid and he's weird.
So, atheist, how can you claim with such stupidity that God doesn't exist when you only have knowledge of 1%, and of course the universe is even expanding. We could even say less than 1%, but let's be generous. The atheist has knowledge of only what's in about 1% of the universe. So how can they claim God doesn't exist?
Atheists do not claim that a God does not exist. That isn't our claim. Our claim is that we don't have any evidence. We can't prove that a God doesn't exist. Just like so far, Christians aren't really doing a good job of proving that one does exist. Atheists are not making any claims. Okay, that's where Christians always go wrong with this. And also, if atheists only know about 1% of the universe, that's all that Christians know about the universe either. So who's the dummy for making the claim? If you only know about 1% of something, the person making the claim about something that they know nothing about is the dumb one.
See this Nissan in front of me? I think it's a Nissan. I can't claim this guy doesn't have a cell phone. I haven't even looked throughout his car. Now, I don't see any evidence of a cell phone. That's what the atheist will say. Oh, I don't see any evidence of God. Well, hell, atheist, use your head. You've only seen 1% of what's in the entire universe. Not to mention that God is in a different realm, the spiritual realm.
What a straw man argument. We live in a world where we know that 99.99% of the people that roam around have a cell phone. Even children have cell phones. This is our reality. We know this. That isn't in any way, shape, or form that you can relate that to a God who you've never seen, you've never touched, you don't know anything about outside of an ancient book. The chances are very good, just using our common sense, that this person in the Nissan has a cell phone. But since we're only using common sense and we don't know for sure, I wouldn't stake my life on it. And yet we have Christians with much less evidence than a cell phone staking their lives on it. What a goofball.
You never seen the spiritual realm. So let's be honest, no atheist can make the stupid claim that God doesn't exist. It'd be stupid, wouldn't it?
Here's what's stupid about this. It's moving the goalposts. Back in ancient times, the gods lived on mountaintops when we couldn't conquer them. And then once we got to the mountaintops and saw that there was no gods there, they moved to above the clouds. And then what happens when we're able to fly above the clouds and see that there's no heaven, no gods, nothing up here? Oh, now they're in outer space. Now they're in space, maybe at the moon or beyond the moon. Now we go into space, and what do we find? We have large telescopes that can see far back into the universe, certainly within our own solar system. And now we're moving the goalpost. Oh, they're in the spiritual realm. So that's where God is. We can't see him. Even though somehow he came down to earth, they like to say he's outside of space and time, even though he absolutely, according to their Bible, used to visit the earth and be bound by space and time. Moving the goalposts, moving the goalposts.
Now, the Christian has great arguments for the existence of God. DNA, intelligent design, the cosmological argument, the teleological argument, the ontological argument. I can go on and on with 100 of them. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, atheist. So it makes rational sense for the Christian to claim that God exists in the affirmative, but the atheist can't claim God doesn't exist. They have no arguments against God's existence, and they can't say, I've never seen God. Well, hell, atheists, we already know you only have about 1% knowledge of what's in the universe, and you have no arguments against the existence of God. One of the worst arguments against God not existing is when atheists say that they have a purpose. So now the atheists, you do not have a purpose. You have a pretend make-believe purpose, but not an objective purpose.
Oh, I have a purpose, and it's very special.
What's happening to my special purpose?
What's your special purpose?
Well, when I was a kid, my mom told me that was my special purpose, and someday I'd find out what that special purpose was.
Today's the day!
The atheist can never say they have an objective purpose, and it's impossible for them to say they have a purpose. What you need to say, atheist, is your life is meaningless, and here's why. Science has proven that, unless God steps in, of course, that the universe is dying, and the end result is everyone dies. So what difference does it make how an atheist lives their life? Whether you live a good life, a bad life, whether you rob or steal, or pillage. Don't bring your morals to me, atheist, because the end result of 20 atheists is all the same. The universe dies, and nobody will remember what good or evil an atheist has done.
Okay, two things. What is actually stopping Christians and theists from unaliving people, raping people, stealing anything they want to? I mean, they have a get out of jail free card, don't they? I don't have that. I'm an atheist. I don't have any get out of jail free card. I can't just say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Please forgive me." And then, "Oh, I'm forgiven." And I can feel good about myself now. No, atheists have to adhere to our morals because we can't feel good about ourselves by just saying sorry. Okay. So you're the ones that I don't understand why you just don't do anything you want to. What's stopping you? You literally can just say you're sorry and feel good about yourself. I can't do that. I have to live with myself. I don't get to feel forgiven. Yeah. Funny how that works. Funny how they don't think about them being flipped on them. And what does the universe dying have anything to do with anything? What is he even saying?
If the universe is going to die and God is not going to step in, the atheist can't say that. Well, God's going to step in and save us and create a new heaven and a new earth. Like, well, that's what Scripture says, what the Bible says. The atheist can't say that. They don't have an escape from their purposeless life. The atheist has no purpose to their life. Now, they could pretend. I'm not saying they can't pretend. They could pretend like it's a video game. But in the end, on the atheist view, there is no escape. The universe dies. Even Mars will be destroyed.
Oh no, not Mars.
I like Elon, but even when we colonize Mars, like he said, like 20 to 25 years it'll take, but eventually the universe is going to die, and unless God exists, all human life will be extinguished. So let's say you're an atheist and you just you steal, you're a gangbanger. What's the difference between that and, let's say, someone that gives money to the poor and helps the poor? In the end, did it make any difference? Honestly, no. There's no difference.
If you're a Christian, you should be so embarrassed by this imbecile. He thinks he's so rational. Well, let me ask you, if you're a Christian and you also believe this, do you think that we as atheists want to live in a world where everybody is just stealing from everybody, unaliving people whenever they feel like it? What makes you think that we want to do these things or live in a society where this happens? Japanese people live in basically an atheist society. They don't do stuff like that. The Chinese, same thing. Most of Europe is very mildly Christian or atheist. They don't have societies like that. That doesn't even make sense.
We just went through a few arguments against atheism. I believe these are nails in the coffin of atheism. I mean, if you just want to say you're an atheist because you feel like it, okay, that's a good argument. But don't tell us that it's rational, because it's not. Don't tell us that your atheism is supported by science, because we know science says, unless God steps in, of course, the universe is going to die and everything in it dies.
Oh, wow, we are? Well, let's hear it.
The wickedness of Hamas. Do you know atheists have murdered more people than Hamas has? Children even. No group has murdered children, raped children, innocent women more than atheists. So you can see all the facts. I made a video where it covers all the evil that atheists have done. You can't believe it, the evil that atheists have done throughout history.
Oh, you just know he's not going to claim the Crusades because that was the Catholics. Or King Leopold II of Belgium, he was Catholic too, and he unalived millions of Congolese back in the early 1900s. What about all the European wars that happened for 1,000 years, religious wars that killed millions and millions of people? Oh, you know he won't claim any of those. He is just a buffoon. And talk about the religious killing people, has he read the Old Testament? My guess is he probably knows almost nothing about the Old Testament, because do these people ever? Do they really ever?
Oh, and may God help you if we get an atheist leader. They're the worst. They love themselves some raping of children and killing of kids. This is why atheists are 90%, 95% pro-abortion. They love killing children. All right, folks, so you cannot watch this video on YouTube because YouTube, as you know, is run by trans militant gays and atheists. Lots of gay trans atheists that are moderators on YouTube. They're constantly banning my videos, even though I never cuss and I'm always saying the truth.
I'm always really disturbed by people who think too much about what other people are dressing like or who they're dating. That's always disturbing to me, no matter if they're very conservative or very liberal. It doesn't even play into it. It's like, why are you so concerned what people look like, what they dress like, who they're dating? You know what? Stay in your own lane and mind your own business. Life works better that way. What a weirdo. And oh, he doesn't understand why he talks about YouTube employees like this, who runs it. I guess he doesn't know that it's mostly run by bots. If you've ever tried to get a hold of someone at YouTube, a real life person, they have almost no people. So he really doesn't even understand how YouTube works, and he can't understand why they wouldn't want him on there. Oh boy. I don't know if I can do any more reaction videos of this guy, but he has a lot of videos out there. He is a twit among twits. All right, that's all I have today, guys. I will see you next time. Please help me get at least as many subscribers as this guy does. Give me a like, give me a comment, and I'll see you next time.